Na mimi nataka niseme na nishukuru Rais William Samoei Ruto. Wakati jana umesema shoot but do not kill. I want to repeat it here. In fact, shoot and kill.
Kenya is on fire. A shoot to kill order from the government has Kenyans raging and the nation teetering. MP Nelson Koech says kill. President Ruto says shoot the legs. Gen Z says enough. With 31 dead in protests, is this order or anarchy? Belgut Member of Parliament Nelson Koech just lit a march. On July 10th, 2025, the National Assembly Defense Committee boss told the police, shoot them dead. Forget injuring protesters storming Parliament or State House. He wants them dead, calling them criminals and terrorists. His words spit in the face of President Ruto's call to avoid lethal force. Koech even scoffed, saying, the president's shoot but not kill is weak. These aren't protesters. They are threats.
Na mimi nataka niseme na nishukuru Rais William Samoei Ruto. Wakati jana umesema shoot but do not kill. I want to repeat it here. In fact, shoot and kill. You cannot have someone coming after your life and you do not want to shoot and kill. You cannot have someone who is going to terrorize you and your family and you are telling me you cannot shoot and kill. You cannot have someone who is coming after your businesses armed and with weapons and you want to tell me that you cannot use shoot and kill. The Constitution, the Police Act has given the police the powers to use their arms where they have evaluated the risk of their lives is in danger. And I want to say, these people have been terrorizing people. Anyone who wants to go to a protected area like State House is not an ordinary person. That is a criminal. That is an armed person that must be dealt with equal force. And the only force that applies to such people is to shoot and kill.
X is erupting with users like @CNyakundi, calling it a declaration of war on Kenyans. Earlier, President Ruto tried to send the same message, but in a cooling way, as the Kilimani police station launched, saying, shoot looters in the leg, not the chest.
Mtu kama huyo apigwe risasi miguu, aende hospitali, akienda kotini. Wasimuue lakini wapige hii miguu ivunjike, ndio aende kotini, aende hospitali, akienda kotini.
It was a rare nod to restraint, but was it? Koech's defiance, paired with Interior CS Kipchumba Murkomen's own shoot-to-kill order last week, exposes a government at odds with itself. Are Ruto's allies ignoring him? Or is this a calculated power play? Kenyans are now calling for answers, and the cracks in State House are showing.
I want to repeat it here. In fact, shoot and kill.
Be a police station, pick a result.
Kipchumba Murkomen's no stranger to the spotlight. Last week, he ordered police to shoot and kill anyone nearing officers or government buildings. The backlash was swift. Human rights groups dragged him to court, accusing him of inciting police brutality and trampling Kenya's constitution. The Law Society of Kenya called his directive illegal, warning that extrajudicial killings could land officers in the dock. Murkomen still unapologetic. And with Koech echoing his vibe, the government's hardline stance is doubling down.
If you think that the government is sending goons and assassins to attack people's property and investment, why do you have a problem when the government then goes after the people they have sent, as you claim? We will arrest everyone, and I can tell you they are terrorists, and they are going to be charged as either facilitating terrorism or they are terrorists themselves. Yule mama ambaye alichomewa biashara yake ya county supermarket alifanya makosa gani? Opuzi yenu mnatuambia sijui one time ya nani? Nani alikuambia sisi ndio tutakaa one time? Kibaki hakukaa one time, Uhuru hakukaa one time. Sisi umeona wakati imetufikia ndio sisi ni washezi tukae one time. Tunapiga mbili, tambili, fululizo. Kama taifa la Kenya na kama jamii hatuwezi hata siku moja, na wasifikirie sisi ni waoga hati wanatupangia na sisi tumekaa hivi. Kama ni kupanga, wasifikirie hatuwezi kupanga. Ni vile tunapenda amani na wachunge hii amani sana. This country blood has been shed enough times, and we will want to warn all those who want to orchestrate violence in our nation that we will not allow the temptation to join your...
The Saba protests on July 7th, 2025 were a bloodbath. The National Police Service reports 31 dead, 63 injured, and over 560 arrested, mostly Gen Z youth demanding justice, good governance, and an end to police brutality. These weren't just numbers. They were sons, daughters, dreamers. Tear gas, batons, and live bullets met their calls for change. Kenyans are livid, with many asking, if the government's answer to dissent is death, what's left of Kenya's democracy? Let's cut through the noise. Shoot to kill means firing a weapon to cause death, not just to stop someone. Koech and Murkomen are pushing for lethal intent, but the Police Act only allows deadly force when lives are directly at risk. Anything more could be extrajudicial murder. The Law Society of Kenya is sounding the alarm. This isn't just policy, it's a potential crime. So why are these leaders gambling with Kenyans' lives? Kenya is at a breaking point. Koech and Murkomen say shoot to kill will restore order. Gen Z and human rights defenders say it's a fast track to anarchy. With courts stepping in and the streets still burning, one question looms. Will this policy crush dissent or ignite a revolution? The answer could reshape Kenya for decades. Kenya's future hangs in the balance. Is shoot to kill the answer, or is it the end of Kenya's democracy?
Mtu kama huyo apigwe risasi miguu, aende hospitali, akienda kotini. Wasimuue, lakini wapige hii miguu ivunjike ndio aende kotini, aende hospitali, akienda kotini.
Kuna na mimi nataka niseme na nishukuru Rais William Samoei Ruto. Wakati jana umesema shoot but do not kill. I want to repeat it here. In fact, shoot and kill.
Pia police station piga yeye risasi.
Those who attack our police, those who attack our security men and women, those who attack our security installations, including police stations, that is a declaration of war. That is terrorism. We are going to deal with you firmly.
Is shoot to kill the answer, or is it the end of Kenya's democracy? Drop your thoughts. Newsroom, Maisha TV, Ushabi Jr.